Thought I'd do a little bit of a rant about plastic and difference between single-use plastics and just other plastics that are really good. And I'm not a very liberal person or that kind of way. I mean, I drive SUVs, trucks, all that kind of stuff, but I do not like single-use plastics. There's litter all over the place. I really hate litter. I like going camping, hiking, things like that, and I just can't stand the amount of plastic trash that's out there. This is a really good welcome center if you're coming into North Carolina from Tennessee on I-26. I go to Johnson City and Bristol, Tennessee a lot, and then come into Asheville and then go back into South Carolina a lot. This is the first rest area when you come into North Carolina, the Welcome Center. Really nice facility, great bathrooms, nice little walkway up to this vantage point. It's just a good place to stretch your legs, use the bathroom, etc. My conversation little rant is, they built this thing years ago, and you see a lot more of these plastic, really thick, dense plastic decking material with stainless steel screws, and it's just so durable. Obviously won't rot or anything like that. Like, to me, that is an excellent use for plastic. Absolutely, that's the kind of stuff that should be developed. If you're interested in reducing carbon, then there's also the concept of a carbon sink, meaning like you're sinking it and it's not in the air or that environment. This is a whole lot of carbon right here. Now also, so is this wood. Wood's a good carbon sink as well. But this is a ton of carbon that's going to be used for a long time. And this is the type of plastic that would probably be worth, if it was really explored, actually recycling. And there's just a lot of stuff out there. To me, part of the proliferation of plastic trash everywhere is a lot of it, people think it's being recycled. That water bottle, getting that case of water from Costco, you think that water bottle's being recycled? I highly doubt it. I know in the place where I spend most of my time right now in Charleston, South Carolina, Charleston County Recycling, they are not recycling things like that. It's typically not commercially, financially viable to recycle most plastics. Most of it gets sorted out in a recycling center and gets sent to a landfill to be buried. That's the sad truth. Look up in your own area. No, if you care to, if you actually care. So this is another good, really, really good plastic product. How many times have you seen these types of benches where the wood is completely rotted out of the area like this? This is a fantastic use for plastic. Looks really good too with the rocks. Like, they did a good job with this pathway right here. So, the solution to some of this stuff is not banning plastic. Plastic's an amazing invention. Absolutely amazing. However, it has gotten on the bad side of commercialism and capitalism, where the big companies that produce it and that have sold it to the packaging industry, here we are here. You cannot go anywhere in the world, certainly in the United States, without coming across single-use plastic food packaging of some sort. This looks like it was for maybe some little snack cake or something like that. Since I've started to give a crap about anything like that, have not been able to go a day in my life, and I travel a good bit, and whether even in various places over in Europe, Central America, all over the United States, and various islands in the Caribbean and things like that, I've yet to go a day where I haven't come across a plastic bottle cap. this certainly, something like this is not being recycled. Everybody should know that. And without picking it up and putting it in the right place, like it's just, it would be there on the ground for a long time. That being said, what's your alternative? Well, how much more would it be to wrap that particular product in wax paper or something like that? Is that better, less wasteful? I really don't know. I'm not saying I've got that solution or anything like that. This is just more of a rant, pointing out, like, I really like this decking material. It's good. I'm about to redo a deck at a beach house, and we're going to redo it in that material. I think that that's even more responsible and better than wood, because it'll last a lot longer than wood will. These type of wooden structures with these creosote, basically telephone poles, they will last, decades for sure. But wood decking doesn't really last that long. You got to paint it quite often. So all of that just has, I look at it too, I care about the environment, but I also put that in with financial sensibility and whatnot too. I look at this as not only good for the environment, but it makes sense money-wise. You don't have to paint it. It's gonna last virtually forever. You use really high-quality metal, stainless steel stuff to anchor it in, and then of course, like anchoring it down, like I really like how they did that with stone. That's gonna last a long time. It makes financial sense, and I do think that there can be a middle ground where it makes financial sense, and it also is good for the environment, because the environment's kind of important, and it's nice to be able to enjoy it. But things like this, again, I'm a capitalist, but you have to have some practicality. This is being produced because they know that they can sell it. A greedy company, and it is greed, is producing this because they know they can sell it. The reason why they can sell it is because people buy it. Now, maybe there's not as many choices out there, but I don't know. I'll say this. My snack I'm about to eat is a simple boiled egg. It's in its own little packaging and safely in my pocket like that, even though the egg's cracked a little bit. There are alternatives. This is probably a sugar-filled, mass-produced food product that really didn't do anyone any good. This is pretty sad too. Here's a bag of somebody else's trash with cans and stuff in it that could be recycled, but I'm just gonna throw it in here. Like, the people couldn't make it into there. It's just crazy. I mainly hate it for the litter. I secondarily don't like it for the pollution and all of that part of it. And it's bad business behind it. I don't know. I'm ranting on long enough with this. I've been up there for a little while. Somebody left this cup right here. I guess I'll leave that around. I don't know. That's a pretty nice insulated cup somebody left there. But anyway, just ranting and raving a little bit about it. Comment down below. What do you think about those kind of things with responsible uses of plastic versus banning single-use plastic? There's a lot of bans coming on single-use plastic. There's a lot that already occur. A lot of people get bent out of shape sometimes about it, that it's banning something like that, some kind of political, authoritarian, Orwellian overreach or whatever. Personally, and I've read more George Orwell than most people, and I'm pretty libertarian type person. However, left unchecked, greedy people that don't care will produce the crap out of this stuff, and then more, or less people that are just consumers, just everyday average human beings, just trying to get through yet another day of the miserable existence of their life, well, for a lot of people, sadly, or feeding their sugar addiction lifestyle, will buy those kind of products that are in those kind of packages. So is that an overreach to ban that kind of stuff? Regardless of what you think about that, it's coming. I would prefer to make sensible regulations in place about things like that before they get, I don't, sometimes things like that can get, if everybody's not part of the conversation, if you're, let's say that you're a conservative, like politically conservative person, and you say, oh, there should be no regulation on anything like that, and the oil companies and the plastic companies should be allowed to free enterprise and do what they do. Well, I'm here to tell you that you can think that way, but it's coming. More of that kind of regulation is coming. There's certainly people on the far left that would ban it totally, but there's also people like me in the middle that, yeah, it's nonsense, a lot of this single-use plastic stuff. So you're not going to have a lot of fans there. I just think it's better to come to the table, everybody. Of course, that's always better, to maybe find some better solutions for single-use plastics. Certainly things like this are a good step too than your typical disposable coffee cup that's got a absolutely single-use plastic lid and a styrofoam type cup. By the way, too, anyone buying Starbucks and you walk out with your Starbucks cup and you see a little recycled sign on it or whatever, and you throw that in your local recycle bin and you actually think that that thing's gonna actually get recycled, I'm just telling you, you might want to research that some more. You're very likely to find out that it won't, okay? And don't, I'm not trying to make you feel stupid about that. I'm not trying to make you feel bad about that. You know why? Because everybody in the corporate world has made it seem that way, all the way down to Starbucks, which seems on the surface, a company like Starbucks, that they're really conscious and mindful and environmental and all that stuff, when actually they're pumping out millions of those cups that end up on the side of the road and never getting recycled and filling up landfills every year. But they've made you think with that little recycle symbol that's on it that, oh, your Starbucks cup will get recycled if you just put it in your recycle bin. Maybe in some places it does, but in most places, I'm just telling you, it doesn't. If you care about it, if you really care about it, more than just surface level, feeling virtuous, like subconsciously, virtuously okay about it because you see a recycle symbol. If you really care, take a step further. I'll end my little rant and rave with that, and really see if something's happening. I've been here for a while, and somebody definitely left this cup behind. I might just take it and clean it and recycle it. Remember, you can reduce, reuse, recycle. Anyway, that's my little rant and rave. Comment down below what you think about these subjects. If you watched the video this long, well, thanks for that. And hit that like button, subscribe, all those good things. Thanks.